Hi, Eric here with 30x40 Design Workshop. I wanted to do an update on the studio project, which we've now completed the site work for. I recorded a time-lapse video over the 3 days that it took to do the site work. Day 2 was essentially a washout, so the actual total took about 2 days to do all of the site work. So it begins with them dropping off the excavator, and one of the things with a small site, you need to plan carefully what the access is like. So this excavator, once we prep the pad for the studio, will not have access to the house, and the power actually comes into the house. So you'll see the excavator crawls over and digs the utility trench first, and that way we have a place to put our conduits and access the power. Then they're coming and pushing the large boulders out of the way, and then this process here is called grubbing out the site. So what you want to do is remove all of the organic matter from the surface, and then we're going to put in a nice compacted crushed stone base, and you'll see that process evolve here. But they basically truck the organic matter off to the stump mill, and then we're left with scraping back to the, we scrape back all the organic matter, and we are left with undisturbed soil here, which is going to be our bearing footprint. And you'll see they've scraped all this back, and it's a larger area than we actually need, but that's because we're doing a frost-protected slab on grade. And what that means, with a typical foundation, you would normally dig down 4 feet to get below frost line. With this frost-protected slab on grade, we're going to create a level bed about 18 inches down from the surface, and then we're going to place 2 inches of rigid insulation board that the foundation will sit on top of. And what that does is retains the heat of the earth, and it keeps us from having to excavate so much on the site. So it saves site costs, and it preserves the sort of natural drainage patterns in the area as well. So here they're just basically creating a level pad, and they have a transit, and then we're going to lay out the actual corners of the building so we know the extent to which the building goes, and then our 4 feet beyond that we're going to place our rigid insulation board. And next they're going to be going and placing the conduit, which we're going to connect back to the power in the main house. So the first trench that they dug, we need to now put in place the power conduit, and we placed 2 conduits, one for power and one spare conduit, which is a good idea when you're placing any conduit, so you have a means of getting future utilities out to this site. Now you can see they're running back and forth with the compactor. They're basically creating a level, compacted site which we can bear the foundation on. Now they've painted out the extent of the building. You'll see that it sits inboard from the area that they've excavated. That leaves room at the 4 foot band at the perimeter for us to place our insulation. And now what they're doing is they're coming and placing a gravel interior. This is day 2. We received 6 inches of rain. You can see at the perimeter there they've started to place the perforated drain tile, and here the entire site fills up with 6 inches of rain, but it quickly dries, it quickly drains away, so we know that it's a drainable site. Day 3, and this is actually day 2 of their work, is the drainage tile and placing of the stone bed. So the drainage tile here just captures any water that lands around the perimeter of the building and directs it to another zone outside of the building, away from the building. The solid pipe there is to the upper left corner of all the drain, and they're coming in and infilling the center of the slab with gravel. Now the edges of this slab are much thicker than the center, so the center of the floor slab will be about 4 inches thick, and they're compacting each of these layers of gravel in about 1 foot lifts. You can see them standing on top of that, and they'll come back and compact that too. So the slab edge is a thickened slab edge, and that allows us to transfer the building loads to the soil around. And then the center part, we don't need as much concrete in the center part, so we've built it up with gravel. And on top of this, the next step will be to place the insulation board, and then obviously pour our thickened concrete slab edge.